Good evening, everyone, and I wanted to welcome you to a new year. So, today we have a wonderful presentation by our registered holistic nutritionist, Sabine Mansour, and she's going to be talking on a new year, a new me, and unlocking the secrets of weight loss. So, Sabine, we realize that there might be questions as this presentation goes along, and Sabine has offered to answer all of your questions. You can quickly jot down the email address here, info@healthyhappygenerations.com, and Sabine will be happy to get back to you with any questions that you have. I wanted to take a moment and I wanted to introduce you to our holistic nutritionist, Sabine Mansour. She has made an incredible impact in my family's life. She is registered and a graduate of the School of Natural Nutrition. And she actually came in with honors and is a member of the Alumni Association. She really does specialize and has special interest in the digestive health and our immunity, fatigue, sleep disorders, weight management, and so much more. She is very, very passionate about helping us achieve our optimal well-being for our healthy mind and body. So please help me welcome Sabine.
Thank you, Angela, for the introduction. I want to say thanks for having me as well. Hi, everyone. I want to wish everyone a healthy, happy new year, full of blessings, new adventures, achievements, love, peace, and success, and mostly stay safe and beat this pandemic with new energy. I'm going to be talking today about the weight loss program. It's a metabolic balance program. So let's jump in on the first slides, and I'm going to talk about the keynotes. So the keynotes for today is, first of all, I'm going to talk about the New Year resolutions, what type of diet is the best for you, metabolic balance program, and some of the case studies and testimonial. For the New Year resolutions, I'm sure each one of us or you has a list of the New Year resolutions. Probably it's not written on but probably it's written on your phone, on a paper. It's still on your mind. But I highly recommend that you write it on a paper and just put it on your office, on your desktop, or on your computer. So some of my New Year resolutions: I want to exercise more, eat more healthy, introducing more vegetables in my meal planning. I want to drink more water, spend more time with my family, and actually I want to do some dancing classes, virtual for the moment. I love music. And hopefully you have some New Year resolutions as well, so you can start doing it starting now, January. So what type of diet is the best for you? We know there is a lot of types of diets in the universe now. So one of them is the ketogenic diet, which is you can't have grain, no sugar, you have to avoid certain fruits, and no starchy roots vegetables. So mostly fat percentage is 70 to 80%. Protein, it's 20-25%. Carbs are 5 to 10%. I find it's a little bit difficult with people with having, if there is any issues with the gallbladder issues. If you don't have gallbladder, so you're going to have some issues with digesting the fat. However, if you can take some digestive enzymes, that helps. Sometimes it's the bile salt will help a lot. Moving forward, you have the paleo diet. It's the same: no dairy, no grains, no legumes, sugar, no refined vegetables. Fat percentage 40%, protein 30, carbs 30. Low carb diet, blood type diet, vegan, vegetarian, raw food, Mediterranean. Weight Watchers, metabolic balance is the diet that I'm going to talk about. The fat percentage is 30-35, protein 20-30%, carbs 40-45, and there's a lot actually. There's the Atkins diet, it's high protein, high fat, low carbs. South Beach diet, high protein, low fat, low carb. There's a lot in the market, I would say, like not in the market, in this world. So you're gonna have to choose the best diet for you. So moving to the 10 points for the good starts, how to choose the diet that works for you. I would say check first with your healthcare practitioner. If you have a nutritionist, a dietitian, then secondly, follow a healthy eating plan. Empty your cupboards of all toxics. That will help a lot. Take baby steps. I always tell my clients, you are here, you're going to go there, don't jump. Just take those baby steps in order to achieve your goal and set realistic goals, I would say. Reward yourself. Don't punish. Don't say, oh, why I did this, why I did that. I'm going to start from Monday for a new diet. Just taking baby steps. No sugar, no grains. Get a buddy. Buddy is very important. If you have a friend or family member that can help you to achieve your goal, or tell everybody that you're on a diet, that's fine. If you are going to your grandma, visiting your friends, tell them, no, I can't eat sugar. I can't eat gluten. I can't eat this and that. So just prepare everybody before going to your visit that you are on a diet, that they can help you, and then you can learn to say no to them too. And lastly, you have to add exercise. This is a very important component in starting a good, healthy diet, right? Always remember, there is no magic pill. Even the metabolic balance diet that I'm going to talk about, it's not a magic diet. It just will work slowly, and it's mostly long-term effect and lifestyle change at the same time. For the government spending with the obesity, it's estimated that 1 in 10 premature death among Canadian adults aged 20 to 64 is directly attributable to obesity. So obesity is huge in this decade. 2020, there is spending of $9 billion. Back in 2012, it was 5 billion, so it's coming double and double. And backing to my program, the Metabolic Balance Program. So what is it exactly? So it's a personalized weight management program from Europe, specifically from Germany. It's very customized, developed by Dr. Wolf von Fack. He's a German doctor with his team as well. It's more than 20 years of clinical research and based on 30 plus blood values. It means that it's very customized. It's based on your blood work results. There is 4 easy steps and 8 golden rules to reach your goal. 4 easy steps, it's 4 phases, and 8 golden rules. It means I'm going to give you some of the examples of the golden rules. It's eating 3 meals a day. Leave 5 hours between meals. Eat foods containing protein at the beginning of the meal to delay the surge in blood sugar. Drink the suggested amount of water. Eat apple a day. So some of the 8 golden rules that will help you to maintain this diet in the long term. No counting calories, no low fat, no shakes, no pills, no high protein, no low carb. So it's a very balanced diet, as I mentioned in the beginning. The proportions of the fat and protein and carbs, they are very balanced. This is why it's really one of the successful programs that I worked with. And the past 12 years, I did a lot of research, and I feel like this is one of the most successful program which is working with my clients and myself too. How does metabolic balance work? So as I said, it's very individualized. It's based on your blood work results. I collect your personal information, health history, and I put them all in a database, and this will generate a individualized nutrition plan, which is, as I said, from Germany. It's mostly 30 pages of nutrition meal plan, and I'm going to be coaching you throughout the weeks and see how you're doing the meal plan. The 4 phases of this metabolic balance program. So it's the first phase. We have 2 days. It's the cleanse. You're going to have lighter meals and cleaning the bowel. I usually give some type of laxative. It's magnesium citrate or some high doses of fibers. So this will help with the cleanse. And this is only for 2 days. And for the next phase, it's the 14 days. It's very strict, and only foods on the individual's food list are allowed. You can't have any of other foods unless it's all in your food meal plan. Then jumping to the phase 3, it's relaxed dietary phase, and duration is weeks up to month. So this is, it depends on how the individual is doing the meal plan and how it's they are just relying on those meals or doing some extra efforts. And the phase 4, it's maintenance phase. Duration is unlimited. For the next slide. So this is some of the options of the suggestions, I would say. As we see together, the program is really amazingly simple. You have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some suggestions. So let's say you started on Monday, your cleanse of the 2 days. So you're going to have lighter meals. There are some options of having only fruits a day, only carbs a day, like rice or a vegetable. So after the 2 days, you have the third day, you're going to start with the suggestion 1. So suggestion 1, let's say it's Wednesday. Suggestion 2, it's Thursday. Suggestion 3, it's the Friday. Suggestion 1, it says you have 45 grams of cheese in your breakfast, 65 grams of veg lettuce, fruits, bread, 5-hour gap. And then you have the lunch, mushrooms, vegetables, fruit, bread, meat, vegetable, fruit, bread. This is for the dinner, and the same with the Thursday, same with the suggestion 3. So it's most importantly that you have to weigh your food. And let's say the cheese option, it's whatever in your meal plan. So there is pages and pages. It says which cheese that you have to eat, which veg lettuce, what is the options of the veg lettuce, what is the option of the fruit. Mushroom is mostly, we use the shiitake mushroom, oyster mushroom. They are high in protein. And also oyster, as I said, and portobello mushrooms, they are really high in protein. Of course, if you have sensitivity to dairy or gluten, or you have any particular disease such as thyroid, high blood pressure, diabetes, the proportions will be different. I'm not going to put the cheese if you have sensitivity to lactose, or you are sensitive to dairy, or you have any issues with allergies, right? So it's very individualized and customized, and it's done all in the initial consultation. So the blood work and the initial consultation, I include the health history and all the information that I collected, right? So back to the, let's see, the blood sugar levels with the 3 meals. So why it's only 3 meals? We have a habit of a constant snacking throughout the day. Why? Because probably we are bored or hungry, we have cravings. Why? Because we are not eating balanced meal. So with having the break of 5 hours between meals, this takes a load off the digestive system and gives it time to get set for the next meal. So as you see, like if you are having meal, the insulin levels is spiking, and then you have this 5-hour gap. So here is the burning fat is happening, and then you have the meal again, insulin spike, and the burning fat, insulin spike. So when you are eating constantly, so your insulin level is constantly spiking. So there is no burning fat, and you're not giving a relax for your digestive system. And of course, if you're not having a balanced meal, the protein, the complete protein, and the fat, the healthy fat, I would say, the complex carb, and the fibers, you're going to crave food all the day around. So this is why you're going to have a balanced meal. And don't skip meals. If you skip meals, it means you're going to have craving for the next day or the same day. So you're not going to say, oh, Sabine, can I skip meals to just lose more weight? No, you can't. So it's just 3 meals a day. Okay. Who can benefit from the Metabolic Balance program, and who can't be on Metabolic Balance program? So this program is not only for losing weight, it's also for gaining weight. So if you have issues with gaining weight, this will work as well. If you have high blood pressure, low blood pressure, this will work for you. Type 2 diabetes, if you have food sensitivity, hormonal imbalance, especially fertility issues, skin issues, hot flashes, the polycystic ovarian syndrome, and if you have any sleeping issues, fatty liver, overweight, and if you are tired and exhausted all the day, this will help a lot. And if you have any pain and inflammation in your body, and there is salt and sugar cravings. I've seen a lot of my clients, they get rid of all this medication that they have, and some of them that they were having a salt craving, sugar craving. The metabolic balance program helped them a lot. However, if you have a kidney failure, a kidney dialysis, or if you have any issues of the kidney, this program will not fit for you. So there is other program that I can help you with. And if you are a vegan, this is also something very difficult. Vegetarian is fine, but vegan, it's kind of difficult. And of course, there is different programs that I can help you with the vegan. Being vegan, I was vegan for a couple of years, and I followed a macrobiotic diet, and which helped me a lot with some of my issues, health issues. However, I'm not vegan now, but I have a really big background of being vegan, and I can help you a lot with that too. Let's move to the next slide, and this is a video that Angela, if you can help me to see this video.
In 14 weeks on the Metabolic Balance program, I've lost 32 pounds, 17 and a quarter inches, and I've gone from size 12 down to size 6.
In the 14 weeks, I went from a waist 42 down to a 36. I'm off my 2 cholesterol medicines, and I'm also off my diabetes medicine.
Obesity carries many health risks for both adults and children, including an increased risk of coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancers, hypertension, and stroke. Dr. Wolf Foonfak is a physician specializing in internal and nutritional medicine.
High carbohydrate levels means high insulin levels because insulin is the hormone to bring the carbohydrates into the cells. High insulin levels means we are permanently hungry, we permanently build up fat, store fat, and we are unable to burn fat.
Dr. Foonfak says over time, this causes the body to build up a resistance to insulin, and a vicious cycle is set into motion. The program begins with the creation of an individualized roadmap.
Most diets have an attempt to decrease caloric intake. What's different about Metabolic Balance is that we use individualized programs that are targeted towards their metabolism, and we don't require any medications, drugs, or injections.
A team of experts selects foods based on an individual's blood chemistry, eliminating foods that cause hunger and cravings.
Metabolic Balance is truly an individualized program offering each participant the right foods to balance out their hormones. In addition, it is a once-in-a-lifetime investment because once you know the right foods, you can always get your system back into balance.
Thank you. So this was a small introduction of the Metabolic Balance program. And now I'm going to talk about the blood sugar regulation. The regulation of the blood glucose that I said is largely done through the endocrine hormones of the pancreas. And the main hormones of the pancreas that affect the blood glucose include insulin, glucagon, and somatostatin and amylin. So I'm going to talk about mostly like here in this image, the insulin and the glucagon. So the insulin lowers the blood glucose level, whereas the glucagon elevates blood glucose levels. So if there is a low blood sugar concentration in the cell, there is a release of the glucagon, which is from the liver, and then that will normalize the blood sugar concentration. Versus if there is a high blood sugar concentration, there is an insulin release. So everything else is blocked while the insulin is activated. And the glucose uptake by fat and muscle cells, which will normalize the blood sugar level. So this is just a quick blood sugar regulation image. I can spend hours and hours on talking about the insulin and the blood sugar regulation. So for the next slides, I'm explaining how the carbohydrates also if you have a high carbs diet in your meal plan, it will elevate insulin, leads to following the changes. So if there is elevated insulin leads to the high cholesterol levels, that will be also leads to high triglyceride levels, which is the fat concentration in the blood. Adrenaline, which is the stress hormone, is high, will increase also. The stress hormone is the cortisol, and this will build up the fat. Also, if there is a elevated insulin, the melatonin is decreasing, which is the sleeping hormone. So when you have high insulin levels, you're going to have poor sleep. So this is why I always say, don't eat sugar. I would say fruits at nighttime. Like, just keep it protein and vegetables in order to have this insulin levels low, and then you're going to have a better sleep. And also the DHEA will be low, so will be suppressed. So this is the DHEA is a steroid hormone precursor, and it's produced in the adrenal glands. This hormone reduces fat and builds muscle mass, and it's also called the mother of sex hormones because it is the building blocks of both estrogen and testosterone. Also, the increasing elevated insulin levels will be having, also you're going to have decreased the HGH, which is the growth hormone. This is said to the weight loss, and we say it like as a youth hormone. And this will be happening, the fat breakdown. So this is all with the elevated insulin levels only. This is all it's happening in the body. For the metabolism hormones, so this is also like a big topic. I just put some of the hormones which is really necessary to know about it. The insulin, which is known as the storage hormone, is the master hormone, we say it. Then you have the leptin and peptide, and you have the CCK, which is a peptide hormone of the gastrointestinal system. Is responsible of stimulating the digestion of fat and protein. So this is leptin. It's more the satiety hormone. It's the key of regulation of the body fat, we say it. And the ghrelin is the hunger hormone, which is derived from the fat tissue. Then we have the estrogen. It's responsible for the fat burning, and also testosterone is responsible for the muscle mass and sleep and sexual appetite as well. So we have also the thyroid, which is responsible for temperature and the energy, interact with many other endocrine function. And lastly, we have the cortisol. It's the stress hormone, which we need it all the time for the alertness and performance. So this is just a quick image that I put it to see how is the body fat is concentrated in a different part in our body. So when you have a chest fat, it means that there is high estrogen in your body, low testosterone, versus if you have a belly fat, it means you have high insulin, low HG, it's the growth hormone, and you have high estrogen or high estrogen as well, high testosterone. And this all hormones can be checked by, it's done by naturopathic doctors. So you can check your testosterone, your progesterone, like all these hormones can be checked by, as I said, some tests that's done in labs with naturopathic doctors, with the help of naturopathic doctors. For the sleep support, so I have a lot of clients, they come only to see me because they don't have a good sleep. So this is a big issue for them. Why? Because of the diet is not balanced. So here's the metabolic balance will work for the sleep as well, balancing the insulin level, therefore it will balance the sleep. The benefit of the sleep, reduce the insulin levels and the inflammation, increase GABA. GABA is the calming effect on the brain. This is like constant thinking. Constant thinking is because of the GABA is increasing. And you have the serotonin. It's regulate anxiety and the mood. And there is the increasing of the growth hormone and melatonin, improve thyroid function, optimize leptin and ghrelin, it's the satiety hormones, increasing the acetylcholine. This is for memory and muscle movement. So this is like some of the benefits of the sleep. So if you're having a good sleep, you're going to have all these benefits. It's just all these issues that's happening in your body while you're sleeping, right? So tips for better sleeping. First of all, I would say, as I said in the last slide, it's increasing the sugar intake in the afternoon time. So I would say if you're going to eat your fruits and your like carbs, so keep it like before afternoon. I would say, sorry, keep it before like 5 p.m. or like 3 p.m. So you're not going to have sugar in your body concentrated throughout like the nighttime. And some of the tips is journaling. It's good to have some journaling before sleeping. Just leave your phone aside. We don't need those blue lights. Sleeping teas such as passion flower, valerian roots will help. Magnesium supplements will help. Maniola bark, melatonin, and I put casein also. That will help too for the sleep. The stress and the weight gain and weight loss at the same time. So your body is fight or flight if you have this stress in your body, right? That will speed up your metabolism. Chronic stress may lead to elevated cortisol levels that will stimulate your appetite. You're going to be constantly eating and you're going to be constantly snacking. This is when you're having the stress. Right? So cortisol not only promote weight gain, but it can also affect where you put on your weight and your hips and your belly fat. So it's all connected to also your hormones. Here is some of the case studies that I want to share with you. They are all from Dr. Justine's center. They came in at the center and they really had some good feedback. And this is the case study number 1. Jessica, she is a 22-year-old university studio. She came in, she said, oh my gosh, I have I'm overweight, but I'm also having some PCOS. I want to just get rid of those ones. She had a lot of skin issues, a lot of pimples. Waist circumference, metabolic balance, we focus on waist circumferences. So in the initial appointment, I usually take all this information and measurements, and I follow up with you with the individual in each session. Jessica lost 60 pounds in 4 months. This was very, very successful program for her. PCOS is gone and skin issues is better. She is really having nice skin now, and she's not taking any more the medication, the metformin. And hopefully she's going to stay like this for at least a couple of years, because this is a really good program for long term, because you're having cheat days, treats during the program. It's not only like this program will help. In the phase 3 and 4, you can have some cheat days. Case study 2, sorry, it's he's Matt. Matt is a 43-year-old. He lost almost 40 pounds in 3 months. And his waist circumference was down from 129 to 111. His digestion was getting better. He's not bloating anymore, no constipation, and most importantly, that he lost this weight. He's not on medication, but his mood is better now and he feels good. Case study 3, John, lots of medications, arthritis, hypertension, cholesterol. He came in at the office with, I remember, 10, 12 medications, and now I think he's only on 2 medications because of some multiple surgeries that he had. He lost 46 pounds in 3 months. Can you see his pictures? He's great. He's 71-year-old, which is, you can see, like, even if you are on this age, you can still lose weight and bring better health in your body, right? So why this program is successful? It is successful because it's very individualized. Individualized, it means it's based on your blood work results. So my meal plan is different than yours. It's different than John's, different than Jessica's. So they are very unique because of the blood work results and all this health history and the intake that I usually do it on the initial consultation. It's very flexible, and if you can see, there is a large food selection. So when it says veg lettuce, there is the pages that you're going to flip on this 30 pages, the meal plan that I was talking about. So you have this big list of vegetables that you can pick and choose and put it on your plate every day, colorful ones, and you can enjoy it, right? Portion size. The first couple of weeks, you're going to weigh your food. And trust me, in a couple of weeks, you're going to know what is the 40 grams of cheese, what is the 100 gram of vegetables. So when you are in a restaurant, when you are in your grandma's house, you want to know what is the portion size for you. So you can say, that's enough for me. This is my portion size. So getting used to it, to have this small portion size. No snacking between meals, as I explained. No spiking of the insulin levels. No cravings between meals, because you're having a balanced meal plan, the protein and the fat and the complex carbs. And we are focusing here on the glycemic load and not the glycemic index. I'm going to talk about that in the slides, coming slides. And lastly, it's the coaching is very important. So I'm going to be with you all the time. You can email me, you can text me. It's motivating, and coaching is one of the successful key of this program, which I found it very helpful, because some of the program you can just give them and say, see you next month. This won't work. You have to be, I have to be with you weekly to see how is the progress going on. This is why it's this program is successful. So this is for the glycemic index. We know about that. Perhaps it's the glycemic index, which you say like the GI. It's measure how fast a food is likely to raise your blood sugar. So each food, there is a GI value of, I would say, 100. So this is just a quick image, like I just put it to see how is the glycemic index of each food, and the next slides will show how is the ingestion of the glucose versus oats. So the oats, the glycemic index, it's lower, versus the glucose, it's very high, it's 100 when you're ingesting the oats. So it's better to have oats versus having sugar, because the glycemic index is 40 versus the hundreds. Okay. So here's the glycemic index issue versus the glycemic load that I was explaining. So this is 50 grams of food of specific carbohydrates can mean huge difference in food mass. So let's say I put an example of white bread. So the glycemic index is the GI, we call it. It's 70 versus the watermelon, it's 72. So some of the diet will say, hey, the watermelon, the glycemic index is high, 72. It's like almost the bread, so don't eat watermelon. Versus the metabolic balance program, we say, hey, the watermelon has a glycemic load of 3.6. If we go to the next slides, that will show how we calculated that. So watermelon for the metabolic balance program is totally fine to have it, because when you see the glycemic load for the white bread, it's 31.5 versus the glycemic load for the watermelon, it's 3.6. So it's still, there's huge difference versus the white bread and watermelon. So this is why we focus on the glycemic load of the food. In the next slide, I put some of the examples of some of the food that glycemic load versus glycemic index. So I'm going to take some example of, let's say, white rice. Glycemic load is, glycemic index is 70 versus glycemic load, it's 25. And the same with, let's say, carrots. I feel like all the diets I say, oh, carrots, that's very sweet. They have glycemic index of 85 versus metabolic balance. We say, hey, you can eat carrots because the glycemic load, it's only 4. So it's the same with the pumpkin. It's 75 glycemic index versus the glycemic load is 4. So it's still fine to have pumpkin because the glycemic load is low. Does it make sense? Probably it's kind of complicated, but this is how it works in the metabolic balance program. We focus on the glycemic load value versus glycemic index. Okay, so the same with this next slides. There is a lot of cereals here. Brown rice, 15 glycemic load, glycemic index 50. So this is a huge difference. So you can still enjoy the brown rice. The same with, let's say, papaya. You're going to be surprised. You're going to see papaya, mangoes in your meal plan. You're going to enjoy those, I would say, sweet fruits, but because they have a low glycemic load. So a glycemic load for mango, it's 70. Papaya, it's 6. So they are still low, versus the glycemic index is 50 and 40, and it's considered is high in a certain diets. Okay. Next slides, we have the effect of the calorie intake. So it's not only calculating calorie. Let's say I gave some examples of some of the food. So the first one, you have the omelette with the vegetables and bread. It's considered the low glycemic load. So this is 200 kilocalories. And the following one is, you have the medium glycemic load example. It's the whole grain muesli. It's more, there is a fiber in it. This is why it's considered like a medium. And the highest one, it's in the bottom one, which I see most of people have it in the breakfast, is the cornflakes. It's not only the calories are high, it's a high glycemic load. Okay. Next slide. It's so funny. This is how Michelangelo's, after 2 years after the sponsor is the McDonald's and the KFC, how it's coming fattening. It's just for fun. I'm going to jump for the testimonial. So, I mean, Angela can send you all this testimonial by email, hopefully, if you need it, because it's really helpful to see how my clients came in. It's not only for losing weight. It's just they're gonna, for instance, Brian and Debbie. Brian came in for having some blood pressure, and he didn't think that metabolic balance will work for that. And in a couple of weeks, they not only lost weight, he's now free of all this medication that he's taking. And the good part that the whole family were involved with this diet, so they helped each other. So it's not only the wife or like both of them, they were doing the diet, they helped each other, which is really it was more successful for not only losing weight, for just the motivation. This is another testimonial from Victoria. She said, I'm gonna just lose a couple of pounds, Sabine. I just wanna see, she had some issues with hormonal issues, so I'll help her with shrinking all this cyst that she had on her uterus. In a couple of weeks, I would say in 2-3 months, she did the ultrasound again, no cysts, nothing, and she lost at the same time some of the pounds, which she was really happy of balancing her hormones with only a couple of weeks eating healthy. Okay, so here we go. If you are interested in investing in your health, I would say I highly recommend doing the Metabolic Balance program, which I've been working on that for years, and I'm seeing really successful results. I'm not saying I do only Metabolic Balance program at the center. I do all these diets, and including the vegan, the keto, but the Metabolic Balance program, so far, it's one of the successful program that I worked with throughout the year. So what I include in our initial consultation, which is I include the live blood cell analysis. I'm going to talk about it in this next slide. I include the blood work requisition, which we do it in Life Labs. We work with Dr. Bernstein, Dr. Ira. He is the medical doctor of all the Metabolic Balance coaches. And also I do the body scan. So we have the Tanita machine at the center. So each time you are visiting me, you're going to be stepping on that machine, and we're going to check the fat percentage and the BMI and the intracellular water inside the body. And then you have 8 follow-ups. After that, it's half-an-hour sessions. So that will be, I'm going to giving you the unique personalized nutrition plan. We have unlimited online support. As I said, emails and text and whatever it's easy for you. And also the motivational coaching is very important. And I repeat the live blood cell analysis to see how it was before the diet and after. And you're going to be surprised how there's a lot of issues is resolved in a matter of couple of weeks, just following those steps and the suggestions that I was talking about in the slides. Okay, so the live blood cell analysis. So this is a quick and accurate assessment of the blood. I just take a drop of blood, I put it under microscope. It's viewed a high magnification. The image is also forwarded in a TV monitor, and we see together the red blood cells and white blood cells. And what I recommend, after all, is the supplements, lifestyle change, and also proper food intake, which is with the metabolic balance. So I do that at the center. And this procedure allows us to absorb multiple indications, such as undigested fat, liver kidney congestion, if you have a poor circulation, if there is any inflammation, hormonal imbalance, if there is essential fatty acid deficiencies, so omega-3, which we always have. We think that we take all these supplements and it's working perfectly. It might not. So I probably say, oh, take more omega-3, take B12, digestion, chew well, like it's if there is any yeast indication, so we have to just do a low carb diet. If there is any acidity, so we're going to work on the pH level, making more alkaline. So this is about the live blood analysis, and as I said, I include 2 live blood analysis in the package that I offer at the center to see before and after the metabolic balance. In a matter of couple of weeks, we're going to see a huge difference. 2021 be more starting healthy month for you. And thank you for having me again.
And so, Sabine, we wanted to thank you so much for all of your knowledge and sharing and the wonderful research that you have done. And we really do look forward to meeting with you and really understanding how what you do and what in your area of expertise really can help us have a healthy beginning to the new year. Okay?
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening. And we look forward to continuing with our weight loss series in the month of January with the various practitioners here at Justine Blainey Wellness Center, and look forward to future talks with Sabine as well. Have a great evening.
Bye. Have a great evening.